Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fire Emblem Blazing Sword Let's Play. Zane is with us once again, and we are tackling a Gaiden chapter, as it's called, for this game.
My video might be just a couple seconds behind because there was a hint of the save screen from the last chapter that popped up for a couple seconds. So
You're not behind. I had the exact same thing.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's all intentional here. It's all intentional.
All intentional. Yep.
Yeah. Don't worry, that can all be fixed in post-production.
To the post-production ceremony.
Yeah, we're going to be here for 2 weeks.
Please, no. I have places to be tonight.
Yeah.
That's why we're recording this in the early afternoon, is because I have a show in the evening, and it's...
For me, it is the evening.
Well,
fucking
okay.
Time zones, man.
It's probably why Skype hates us so much, is because we're trying to have this call going from 2 different continents. Like, not just 2 different countries, 2 different continents.
And 2 different time zones. So, yeah, this sub-chapter is just to get the ring back, but here we see one of the members of the Black Fang, Ursula, and it's all, like, hinting towards the bigger picture.
And Ursula is laying the smackdown on this poor, unfortunate soul.
Yeah, if it was the hero's Ursula, his eyes would be... If it was the... yeah, I see what you did,
Took you a second there.
Yeah, but if it was the hero's Ursula, his eyes would be a bit lower down. Because they gave her massive tits in that game.
Oh, right. Derp. I was, like, completely lost in that.
I don't know why, but, to be fair, a lot of characters from Fire Emblem got bigger breasts in that game, but Ursula especially, I was like, damn!
Damn!
I'm going to put a picture of the post-production to show. It's like you got the normal one, which is just like normal size, then you got fingers like, fucking hell.
Yep. That's just how Heroes does, like...
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm not complaining, and...
I don't think anyone would complain.
Unless, well... I mean, you and Zerk have complained sometimes about it, but that's only when it's done poorly. Like...
Yeah. Well, even then, it's just something that's, I noticed, that's all. It's not like, oh gosh, she has bigger breasts, worst thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like... Well, I live in America, obviously, but like, Americans kind of have a bit of a stick up their butts about sex and sexual content, and I'm very much for anything that pushes against that, but that's just me.
Over here, we're a bit more relaxed with things.
Well, a bit more. I mean, Europe in general is more relaxed. I mean, yeah. UK is not quite as relaxed as everyone else, but at least is a little bit more.
Yeah.
But... Excuse me.
But anyway, so the Gaiden chapters in Blazing Sword, none of them are mandatory. You can skip them, and you don't need them to like beat anything. But they often lead to some pretty good stuff as a way to just explore new things, get some items, level up units. And I recommend going for them because I think all the sub chapters in this game are pretty good overall. I mean, this one's nothing special, but it's still fun, and I love how when they do, because this is a linear Fire Emblem game, they give you the option to like tackle a sub chapter. You don't have to, but there's the option. So I've always thought to myself, if they ever do linear Fire Emblem, please give us sub chapters again.
I don't know if they'd ever do linear Fire Emblem again because it doesn't. I mean, I personally prefer Fire Emblems that are more open ended because the ability to pick how you progress through them is part of the fun with those games, even if they can even if they usually end up being a little bit less challenging than most other Fire Emblem games. Although with Echoes it was still challenging if not for the right reasons.
Yeah, but Echoes, I think, because of the way it was designed, it couldn't have worked as a linear game.
Oh yeah, no duh. But that's because the original Gaiden was not a linear game. It was made open ended.
Yeah, well, with Fire Emblem, it's all dependent on how the game's designed, really. Like, this one, I think it's perfectly fine being linear. Conquest works as linear, but I think also the main reason you'd want a non-linear Fire Emblem game is, 1, so you can get supports of people, and 2, usually to train under-level units.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which I totally get that. But, it depends on how the game's designed. Some games it works linear, some games it doesn't. I can't think of a Fire Emblem game where being not linear doesn't work, though.
I mean, the thing about Blazing Sword is that it is a linear game, but it's designed around that. So it's good with the way it progresses enough that that you're never really left hurting from it being linear.
Yeah, very true.
Path of Radiance,
and for the most part, character balance is good. So when you get a new unit, they're for the most part on the right level.
Yeah, I mean, not all of the units are quite as well balanced because you have characters like Heath who come in with who come in underleveled and with crappy weapon selection, and it's just
he's not the worst of it. Nino's the worst offender.
Nino. Well, she comes in with a fire, with like a regular fire tome, but it's at the end game where you're going to be fighting a lot of wyverns anyway, so it's a lot of units with crap resistance, so it's not that big a deal.
But also a lot of the character things are pre-promotes.
Yeah, but again, they have shit resistance, so they're still going to be taking a decent amount of damage even from her low-level attacks.
That is true, but like general consensus, she does appear pretty damn blatant with low things.
Yeah, no. I gotta be honest, I don't really remember what happens in this chapter all that much.
Oh, you just get the thing back. It's the first sub-chapter. I don't remember it that much. It's just kind of it's just fun way to just mosey on about.
Yeah, get a little bit of extra experience.
Yeah.
I don't think that we get any new units in this chapter.
We don't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not in this chapter. In the next sub-chapter we get our merchant, and then after that, it's
because
that weird Genesis one.
Genesis one.
The one with the guy who prevents... It's like a giant maze thing, and if you're in this guy's area of effect, you can't use magic.
Yeah, the magic seal guy whose name I can never pronounce. It's Kushinada. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Who, in my opinion, is the worst aspect of this story, because it's like he's built up at halfway through the story, but there's no payoff for him. Like, even when you do actually learn a little bit more about him, it's underwhelming as all hell.
Very true. There's a lot of mystery behind him, and then you find out, wait, that's it?
Yeah, it's such a disappointment.
Very true. The last sub-chapter, or I think it's the last one, because in Hector hard mode you can also get other stuff, but that's the one where you fight Sonya. That's the sub-chapter I recommend everyone should tackle. For kind of closure on Nino's story.
It does offer closure on Nino's story. I don't particularly love the map design in that level, in the same way that you do, but I do think it's not awful. It's just that it can throw you off guard a little bit too much, and I don't like that.
That's fair enough. Oh, and you'll hate Chapter 14X Binding Blade.
Ugh.
That's like Night of Farewells jacked up to 10,000 in terms of dickishness.
I've been kind of taking a break from Fire Emblem. I've tried to play a few games after Echoes, and I just can't get into the series for some reason. And I don't. It's almost like my annoyance with the fan base has kind of bled over into my enjoyment of the games, which it's not. I mean, that's a stupid thing to say, because that makes no sense why that would be happening. But it almost feels that way.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I know.
Because, the fan base has been ripe with, well, I wouldn't say, big dickage, but any fan base can be... My opinion on the Fire Emblem fan base is the same as every fan base. They can be fine, provided they're not being dicks to each other. It's just that because of the state of Fire Emblem is now, because there's so many games and so many different things going around, it's in a bit of a frenzy, that's all.
I know, it's in a position where people have more potential to be dicks to each other, because there's so many different styles of Fire Emblem, and people are misinterpreting personal preferences as quality and not quality, which annoys the living crap out of me, to say the least.
Oh well.
I mean, it annoys everybody who's a quote unquote real fan of the series.
Is there a criteria, an exam you have to take in order to become a quote unquote real fan? Take the real Fire Emblem fan exam. So what's your favorite Fire Emblem game? You start writing down A. All right, you failed.
Wow. Yeah, they don't even let you write out the whole word before they fail you.
Yeah, fail. Just fail.
God, I love the internet sometimes. And Lynn's getting the Blazing Luck crits again.
Oh, you know, oh god. Because I know I shouldn't be. Once again, she's getting good level ups.
That was a great level up.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait until
Well, any level up where Lynn gets strength is a great level up, in my opinion.
because I've recorded up to chapter 21. I know I shouldn't have, but I can't stop playing this game. It's so much damn fun, and I'm going to bring up a certain thing in a minute. But I've been getting... The blazing luck has been activating quite a bit, and it's especially with Raven.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but...
Raven's a kick-ass unit, so, I mean, it makes sense that it would be him getting all the crits.
Yeah, but what I was saying, because I've been having so much fun with Blazing Sword, but thinking to myself, I want to play a Fire Emblem game, but I don't want to keep playing Blazing Sword, otherwise by the time we reach Elora's campaign, I would have beaten the game. Yeah. So I'm going to have to force myself to stop. So I was looking around today, it's like, alright, what Fire Emblem game do I want to play? Well, I played Conquest recently, so I don't want to do Fates. I played Echoes recently, don't want to do that. My Sacred Stones looks pretty cool, Path of Radiance looks pretty cool, and then I see Radiant Dawn, and it's like, I shouldn't do it, but I want to.
Do it.
Because, dude, I have taken a really long break since Radiant Dawn, and I know it's exhausting. It's like, but Lewis, your backlog, you just got the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I know, but Radiant Dawn is fun, man!
It's fun if you can get past a certain point.
Yeah, it's like, you play Radiant Dawn, you're like, you beat the Dawn Brigade's part, you're like, alright, I want to give up. I see Nephi, it's like, okay, I'm back.
Yep, I know. That's the charm of Radiant Dawn, is that you can get an army that's so powerful in that game. It's just it takes its time getting going, and that's always annoying.
Once it gets going,
it's always annoying when you have games like that. Like Final Fantasy IV for the DS is a game that I feel kind of does that, where it starts off a little bit slow, but once you get about to the halfway point, then the game becomes really fun, because the stuff you can do in that game is just, with the parties, with the characters you get, is great.
So yeah, I'm because I'm currently playing Bloodborne's also Insane Trilogy, but I want to play a Fire Emblem game, and Radiant Dawn is looking really sexy right now.
Well, I mean, you're wanting to play Bloodborne and you're wanting to play Radiant Dawn. It's like, what's the difference? They're both difficult. They're both difficult. Yeah,
but Bloodborne's way better.
Okay, I mean, I've heard good things about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is I don't often use the term perfect game, but Bloodborne is one of them.
I mean, here's the thing: is that with the release of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy,
you're interested in getting that PS4.
Well, here's the thing: I never grew up with Crash Bandicoot, at least in the traditional sense. I played the 2 GBA Crash Bandicoot games that were developed by Vicarious Visions.
I had Entrance. I really like that.
The Huge Adventure was the one I grew up with, and I have a copy of Entranced. Entranced, I played it through. I played a little bit of it recently, and it's a good game. Although there are a couple of levels that are a pain in the dick to get all the boxes in.
Yeah,
so
many of them.
I know. Rock the Kasaba was the level I got stuck on because of the way it handles the Nitro box. It involves backtracking and
backtracking in Crash Bandicoot never goes well.
Never goes well. But. Yeah.
I also completely forgot, there's another chapter we're doing here, because that last one was really, really short.
I know, it's a Gaiden chapter, so obviously it's short, but...
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I never really grew up with the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. The funny thing about the GBA games is that they use all of the music from Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. Entranced in particular loves Crash Bandicoot 3's soundtrack.
Who doesn't?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean,
I see what you mean.
And honestly, I think some of the remixes of the Entrance songs actually sound better than some of the console versions. The Lava Island theme in Entranced, I think, is much better than the prehistoric theme in Crash 3.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, and the Crash Bandicoot prehistoric level theme is great, but some of the things they do with in Entranced is, it actually just it sounds better from a compositional standpoint.
Yeah, it's just the little things. Yeah.
But the thing is that even though I never grew up with the games, the Insane Trilogy just looks so good that it's I would honestly be down with buying a PS4 just for that. And then I could experience a whole bunch of other games on PS4 that are great, like Bloodborne, for example, or other Dark Souls games.
Yeah, and there's loads of things. Yeah, Insane Trilogy, I got it recently, and I've been playing Crash 1. It is pretty much the definitive way to play the games, and it is loads and loads of fun. Especially now that they I just remember I dropped, when I know about this, but beforehand, but when I actually started playing the game, I died in one of the levels. I was about to hit things. I was like, wait, I can still keep going and get the gem. And then I just got to my knees and started going, hallelujah, praise the Lord Almighty, I can keep going. Oh, this is so beautiful.
And you know what? Sunset Vista is not a color gem level, so
yeah. So I was like,
you can use checkpoints in that.
And I was just there, just going.
Yep. that took.
Remind me to never do that again.
Coughing fit.
I was so happy that I don't have to tackle Sunset Vista like that. And I know some people are still angry because Slippery Climb in the lab, which I get, but Slippery Climb I can do in one go, even on the old one these days. And the lab never gave me any trouble, but as long as Sunset Vista I can do and die, I'm happy.
I know. Well, the thing is that they fixed Crash Bandicoot 1's controls in the remake. I know nothing about like the original Crash Bandicoot games because again I never played them, but you know I did see that video that Some Call Me Johnny and Cat Icarus did where they went like down to the finest detail of all of the great things that Insane Trilogy was doing, and I was like, oh man, like this is such a glowing review. Like even if I have to put up with the stupid motorboat in the remake of Crash 3, like I want to play that game. The only problem is that I have just enough money to buy a Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild, and I will probably be doing that when I get the chance. Because here's the thing: I have enough money, but my mother is cock-blocking me from getting the Switch because she doesn't want me to spend all my money at once. She wants me to wait until we get more money from Social Security to before I go spending anything.
Okay, you know you could counter-argue and just say, but Nintendo!
I know,
but Zelda, have you seen the reviews?
Also, we have made it this far into the thing, and that was the first time that the audio cut out on your end.
Oh, wow. So we are making progress.
We are making progress. So, you know, and it only cut out for like a couple seconds. So that's, you know, I'll take it. Like, we may not have been able to make the upgrade to Discord, but like,
Skype's pulling through.
But Skype's actually pulling its weight after that. It's like, come back to me.
This chapter, not too special, but this one is basically focused on teaching you how the ballistas work, and in this one, they're actually kind of a threat because you're kind of low-leveled at the moment. But it's also about teaching you to take advantage of the trees and find a way around them, and also use them for yourself. No, we don't have Archer. And also, funny enough, right at the end, the enemies surrounding that guy, they all have the Reaver weapons. So it can throw you for a loop if you go in there expecting, you know, fight the axe user with a sword. It's like, nah, man, I got Sword Reaver.
That's one thing. That's another thing I don't like about the GBA games is that you can't see what weapon your enemies have equipped unless you actually look at their inventory. Like in Path of Radiance, you could see at least
if you scroll over their name, right?
Yeah, if you scroll over the enemy, you could see what weapon they have equipped. You know, so you could better prepare for stuff. And then in the more modern games, you can just see their inventory outright.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's all part of just, you know, whatchamacallit. It's all part of just the franchise evolving.
And then you have Echoes, which even on hard mode, the enemies never have any special weapons equipped. Like if they have a weapon equipped at all, it's just going to be like the standard iron sword, steel sword.
Unless they're like, you know, maybe a boss.
Yeah, unless they're a boss, you know. And even then, like, Rudolph doesn't have a special thing equipped. He just has an angel ring to get more crit.
Yeah, and Thingy has like a Draco shield. Also, you may notice with the with this guy, he's doing 0 damage to Rav. That's because I actually used pure water for once in this game. Yeah, it's like those items you get which you never use, but I found a use for it.
I know. Every once in a while, you find uses for situational items, and it's always nice when you can do that.
Yeah, it's like when you find them. So like when I realized, oh wait, if I use the torch with a thief, it goes even further. Well, I only have to use it once then.
Yeah, I know that's the thing about. That was actually a thing that Mangs taught me when I was still watching his stuff, was that you can use a torch along with a thief, and you get a huge amount of visibility. It makes Fog of War maps so much easier.
Yeah, Blazing Luck once again, 3%.
But unfortunately, that trick doesn't make certain Fog of War levels any less painful. Sacred Stones Chapter 6.
Yeah, very true. It would be fine. What? Oh, Jesus! Twice in a row.
Yeah. the audio's going out on your end again.
No, it was only a matter of time. But yeah, twice in a row, Sane got blazing luck. Twice in a row.
Twice in a row. It's always the Green Cavaliers, like I was saying in the last part.
It's the Ables. But yeah, I learned that in the comments section, just through the Binding Blade proof. It's like, if you use a torch and thingamajig goes in front. I was like, oh, right.
I know. And it's funny because I actually checked out the comments in part 3 and 4 just to see like if people were going to react to my presence at all. For the most part, weirdly enough, they didn't. Like there were some people just commenting on what's going on, people commenting on things that were said, and people asking you questions despite the fact that this is not a Q&A video.
Well, the fans love to ask me questions all the time, and I will hopefully do Q&A at some point. And I think it's because, and I get this from a lot of people that that do speak to me. They like the fact that I do reply to a lot of the comments I get.
Yeah. You know what? I think when we get to Cog of Destiny, because that's kind of a long chapter, we can probably do a Q&A session.
Yeah, I reckon so. Okay, yeah. Well, Blazing Sword chapters are paced overall better than Binding Blades. Nothing's ever going to get too long, but Cog of Destiny does drag in.
Yeah.
Blazing Luck once again.
Yeah. Cog of Destiny is a map that I kind of have mixed feelings about, because on the one hand, it is a climactic battle, but on the other hand, like, especially if you have Linus, I think is the Swordmaster brother.
Yeah. No, Lloyd is the Swordmaster.
Oh yeah.
Linus is the hero.
If you have Lloyd as your as the boss of that chapter, then you can potentially have to start the whole thing over again because he just does not stop critting.
Yeah, well, it's almost like he's a sword master.
I know, but even so, like,
and he has that's why he's got like the light brand as well.
I know.
So he can attack from a distance.
But it's like he had a 20% crit chance for pretty much every unit that attacked him, and he always got the crit. And I was like, thank God for restore points, because I would not be having fun with this chapter if that was not the case.
And like Oswin can't save you because it's a light brand, so it does magic damage.
Oh yeah. Oswin usually can save you in most scenarios because he's Oswin.
Yeah, if Oswin can't save you, then you've really done fucked up.
You done goofed.
There's the only thing that's worse. Oh, Hector can't kill this enemy. What? Oh boy, just start again.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, I really hate ballistas in Fire Emblem. Because like
they usually don't bother me.
It's like sometimes they can be worked around, but the thing is that a lot of times the games will like to put ballistas in places where you want to send awkward Pegasus Knights.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's always worse. Four-Fanged, I think it's called Four-Fanged Assault. It's the chapter when you encounter the first of the two brothers.
Four-Fanged Offense, I think.
Yeah, Four-Fanged Offense. I hate that map because it does precisely that, because it has a ballista in the middle of water terrain, and like you can't send your Pegasus Knight over there.
You're gonna hate Binding Blade then. It does it a lot. Though, to be fair, it does it a bit later in the game where you've got like a Wyvern Knight and most likely a Falcon Knight.
Well, the thing about Binding Blade is that its level design is just, more expansive. So there's if a ballista is in a particular spot, it's not as big of a deal for the most part. True. Because you have more leeway as to how you're gonna be going through the place.
It, yeah. But if you want to take it out, then that's where the risk comes. I
mean, I've played a little bit of Binding Blade, and some of the earlier levels have a bit of a problem with clustering units up in tight spaces, and it can make progressing through certain parts of the level a little annoying. But like, I haven't encountered anything that was particularly bad.
Well, how far have you played?
Chapter 6, I think I got to. And then stopped.
Most people, I think the general consensus is things start getting bad from like chapter 14 and onwards. 14 has a reputation, but 14X some people consider is even worse.
I don't know.
And also, a lot of people don't like Sakea Route chapter 20, which can be really annoying, because that level is incredibly obnoxious because it throws Fog of War, Fog of War, killer or long ballistas, staves, and bolting at you all at once, and it's in a very small map.
I mean, I did watch your Let's Play of the game all the way through, and I did see at least some of that. But, I can imagine it's...
And Roy's always the one being attacked.
In some places.
Always Roy.
I'm definitely not looking forward to Chapter 14, but I don't know when I'm gonna play that game again because I don't know. I know it's
like you said, you're kind of Fire Emblem out at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a little Fire Emblem out at the moment. It's funny because I've actually been getting back into Pokemon, and for the longest time, like I couldn't finish playing through a Pokemon game because I just, I would play through to a certain point and then just get bored and move on to something else. But it's like, and now it's kind of that with Fire Emblem, where I like after getting my ass whipped in the Thebes Labyrinth for the third time, I just rage quit and
it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, I just stopped playing the game. I'm like, I'm not doing this until I get some money and I can get the Overclass DLC.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with your shit, Echoes.
I mean, I was planning on getting the Overclass DLC because it just looked like cool stuff. But even so, it's
but right now Echoes is so frustrating that you just don't want to go near it.
I don't want to touch Thebes Labyrinth with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah,
for some time.
Funny thing, Olivia's also got back into Pokemon because both of us, I don't know what it was, but we just dropped Sun and Moon because we really couldn't get into them, but she's really getting back into it now, and she loves her Mudsdale.
Oh yeah. Well, Mudsdale's great. Especially
she loves it because, one thing, it's a defensive Pokemon, which are her favorite type. Two, it's a horse, her favorite animal.
I know, and the thing about Mudsdale in particular is that it's a stamina ability. If you've got it against a physical Pokemon, like, it can tank for days. Like, it is a way better tank than I kind of predicted. Like, a pure ground type, you would not expect it to be able to take hits quite like that.
Especially because Livia's like, iron defense, and then it's just like, I've capped my defense in like 2 turns.
Actually, question. This is a bit of a question for me, but what are your favorite Pokemon of the types that you didn't put in your top 10 favorite Pokemon types video?
So, well, if it's Ghost type, then it's Gengar. Normal type, Snorlax. Fighting type, Toxicroak. Dark type, Umbreon. What other types did I not put in? Rock type, Kabutops.
Ground type I don't think was in there.
Yeah, oh god, I don't know about ground type. Shit. I can't remember.
So you have ground, rock, normal, fighting, ghost, and 2 more.
Yeah. Ice, Walrein. Walrein, yeah, sorry, I don't know. Nice. I can't remember the last one. I think it's ground, but I don't know what my favorite ground type is. No, I do. It's Flygon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, damn it. Audio dropped again.
Is it back? Oh boy. Yeah, Skype. The longer you go on Skype, the more it just falls apart.
Sorry. Audio dropped for a fairly lengthy amount of time then.
Yeah, it's cool.
We're right at the end of the episode, so it's not that big a deal, but...
Yeah, and Matthew found... Yeah, you couldn't... no. Was it... Yeah, you couldn't use Matthew in this chapter, because he went to find out, info. So, we just find what's going on with Lundgren and his massive dick and all that stuff.
Right, yep. Yeah.
And also shows you about how, it kind of has social commentary about how the villagers, are scared to do thingy-majig because this, that, and the other.
Actually, interesting thing, you mentioned in the last episode that Lundgren was kind of one of the more forgettable villains in Fire Emblem. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I realize that Binding Blades villains Blazing Swords villains are kind of not that great, honestly. And I think you've talked about this a little bit before.
Well, I think Nergal's pretty damn good. I definitely put him in the top 10.
Nergal's the one that comes closest, and like they try to give the 2 brothers a little bit more character.
Sonya's cool as well.
Sonya's good, but she doesn't. It's like, as far as like really hateable characters go, she kind of pales in comparison to some of the others that the series has produced. Like, I think like pretty much any of the Banyan Senators are much more hateable. Yeah. But honestly, like Nergal as a villain, like he has like the the backstory, but it's not really as prominent as, like, say, Zephiel's backstory from this game. Like, if you have, actually, Zephiel's kind of a bad example because you kind of need to play this game and Binding Blade in order to get his full story, which does kind of cheapen his character in Blazing Sword. But, like, even in Blazing Sword, you know, he's still presented as an honorable person who happens to have a really, like, terrible goal. But in something like but then you play this game and Zephiel is even more of a incredible character. Also,
yeah, but it also makes his whole thing much more tragic because you understand what he went through and why he turned, and it also shows that how the way you treat people can change them for the worst.
Also, can I just say right now, my mic might not have been plugged in entirely for the entirety of our recording, so if the audio sounds weird, that's probably why.
Okay, but don't worry, I'm sure we can figure a way around it.
I mean, hopefully.
If not, then I'll figure something.
Think of something, but we're at the end of the episode, so...
Yeah, so when we come back... I can't even remember what happens in the next part.
It's just chapter 8, chapter 9. I think that's the part where Wallace shows up?
Yeah. So this is when we get our first promoted unit, who we didn't want to promote, but the game has forced us to, and we're getting closer and closer to Lynn reuniting with her grandfather. But once again, thank you very much for joining me, Zane.
Thank you for having me.
And, yep, well, I'm glad to have you on here. Whenever we see you again, we look forward to it. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.
Next time.